Hey, race fans, welcome to Centerview Speedway in Union Mills, Indiana. We're about 3 miles south of town, and we just opened tonight. This is our opening night. Connie, my wife, she owns it. Now, here's a little lesson for you young racers. You got to make sure the wife runs, because she's going to run it anyway, okay? So, you just let her run it. And I'm the general manager, okay? And we just bought this. And I don't want to go into the whole story, what happened. Anyway, thanks to you, hey, you 69ers. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. I know you guys aren't race fans, but you're going to give me some support because I'm your classmate, and I really appreciate it. You know our motto was Breakfast of Champions. You remember that? Yeah, Mom got her hair done down there at Ellie's beauty shop. And all them old ladies, whatever you want to call them, they're all talking. And I come and eat breakfast one morning, and Mom said, "Ed, what the heck's that Breakfast of Champions mean?" I said, "Well, Breakfast of Champions, like the Wheaties." I mean, come on, Mom. But anyhow, thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. And I hope I make it interesting enough for you that you stick around. Okay, so we don't want to talk about the old Speedway, the one that I spent 60 years, and Connie spent 50, and we put our hearts and soul into it and everything else, and who cares? Guess what? In Connie's pit over there, on opening night, we have, I think we have over 200 cars, race cars, car count. And guess what? 80% of them are from that other track. And we're running on the same night. How about that? I don't know if they're having tricycle races over there. Maybe they're having bicycle races. I don't know. They don't have any cars. They're all in my pit, or Connie's pit. Connie's a bookkeeper, and I'm the general manager of the Speedway. And the way it works is I'm the general manager, and I hire the best people available to run every department. And they answer, well, they'd like to answer to Connie, and they try. But anyway, they answer to me. They run their department the way they run their own business, and that's how we do things here. That way, I can sit up here and talk to you guys while the race is going on, and, I can look for details, you know what I mean? But they run it. They're the best people on earth. The racing community is unbelievable. You just can't believe the racing community if you're not familiar with it. It's unreal. It's unbelievable. And thanks to the racing community, that's how we got this Speedway. Now I'll tell you right up front, okay, Connie was real upset what happened at the other track, She was really upset. And she was heartbroken. But anyway, we're in my pickup. We're going home. And I said, Connie, I've been talking to them people over in Union Mills, got that bankrupt Speedway, and we can buy that on a land contract. And right away, Connie went to praying. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I can't, and I thought, hey, that's a pretty good idea. But anyway, that's how we got here. And with the help of the racing community, you would not believe. It's unbelievable. The local racers came and helped us. And a car owner who wants to race over here, owns a lumber yard. And he showed up with a truck load of 2x8s and whatever to fix the grandstands. I said, Jesus, Katie. I said, I don't have any money, He goes, you don't need any money. They're yours. That's the racing community, see? And the thing is, one day I showed up and there was skids of paint on a skid, white and red. I don't know where them come from. And then local racers and their families and uncles and aunts and everything else came and painted the walls, and that's how we got this speedway. That's the racing community. So anyway, what I want to try, oh shoot, geez, oh Pete, I'm sorry about that, I made a mistake. Well, I hope that's the only one I make today. Oh, I'm a little bit loose too. I'm a little loose. I got that handle when I was a kid. You know, when I started out at the Speedway, at the other one, I sold Speed Sport magazine or newspaper in the grandstand, and I talked to everybody and the fans. And then I got involved, and then I did probably every job there was at the Speedway that you can think of, except security. I told them I don't want nothing to do with security. So anyhow, I didn't do security. But I did every other job there was, except I wasn't a track announcer, and I always wanted to be one of those. By the way, we got Wendy Fagan. Wendy Fagan, one of the best track announcers in the business, calling the races here at Centerview Speedway. He called me up. He said, hey, heard you bought a Speedway. I go, well, yeah. He says, I think you need an announcer. I said, well, I sure do. He said, well, I'm gonna leave Manzanita, but they're closing it anyway. And I'm coming down and I'm gonna announce for you. I said, well, that's pretty nice of you, Wendy, but I'll tell you what, I ain't got any money. I don't know how I can pay you. He said, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. He says, in time, he said, his first thing, he says, you'll pay me what you can and what you can afford. But in time, I better be making more money than any announcer on local speedway in the United States if I stay with you, because you treat people right and you treat people fair. And you've got, you know what I mean. I don't want to brag. But anyhow, I'm kind of getting off subject too. But anyway, okay, let me back up. We got to regroup. Oh yeah, by the way, this is how the guys contact me, and in case you got a problem, and that they can't handle or they need money or something. Of course, they need money. They got to go to Connie. But anyhow, she does the books. She's down there in the office right now counting money, and I bet you money she's just tickled to death. I bet because we got a big crowd here tonight. I mean, we got for opening night, it's unbelievable. But Connie and I have a reputation. Okay? And I could go on and on, the people that helped us. Oh. I think the only guy that hasn't called me is Roger Penske. I don't think Penske ain't called me. He must be busy or something. So, it's unbelievable. And you know what the funny part is? They don't like them people that we were used to work for. They don't like them at all. Yeah, they don't. I'll tell you what, we bought this on a land contract. Well, I don't want to go there. Okay, we're getting off subject. What I want to convey to you is my passion, my love, my burning passion for racing. It's the greatest sport in the world. There is no sport that will compare to it. Tell me this, and this just happened at the Chili Bowl. Guy from Texas rolled into the Chili Bowl and he blew his engine. He blew it. And he was at his trailer and he's loading it up, going to go back to Texas. He didn't have another engine, and he didn't have any money. So he's going back to Texas. Well, the fellow competitor come walking by and says, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" He said, "Well, heck, I don't have an engine. I'm going back home. And heck, I can hardly afford the gasoline to get there." You know, that's a racer. They don't worry about it. Money, I don't know, they don't worry about it. And anyway, the guy goes, "Well, put your tools down and stuff. I've got an engine. It's in my trailer over there. And I'll tell you what, you unbolt your engine and pull it out, and my boys will come over here, or my men, or my crew, and we'll help you, and we'll swap that engine out. But all I ask you is this." Now my engine builder's here, and I want him to be able to tweak on that thing, you know? You gotta let him tweak on that engine. That's all I ask. Just let him tweak on it. You know, because that way that way after the chili bowl's over, and you give the engine back to me, we got an engine in the trailer that's ready to strap in and go. He'll help us out. How about that? So this guy gave him an engine to use to run the chili bowl. No money. Can you believe it? Tell me one sport that you know that would happen. Just tell me one. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. And what I want to portray is that's what I want to portray. And if you're not a race fan, I'm going to be talking about the shakers, the makers, the whatever, the super businessmen, Roger Penske, my God. Chip Ganassi. I mean, come on. These guys are unbelievable. Tony Stewart. The list is long. They're successful business people. And if you want to learn about successful business people, you listen to my show. Little Loose. I'm a Little Loose. See, that was my nickname, Little Loose, when I was at the track. That's what they called me, Little Loose. A lot of people don't even know my name. My real name. So anyway, I know I'm getting off track, and my producer Fred is getting upset. He's sending hand singles and stuff. Okay. All right. So anyway, that's what I want to do. I want to portray my love for this sport. And it's the greatest sport in the world. And I've been doing it for 60-some years. Okay? And I don't just follow IndyCar. I don't just follow NASCAR, which we don't want to talk about NASCAR. But anyway, we don't follow NASCAR. I mean, I follow it. World of Outlaws, USAC Sprints, little kids that run up at South Bend Speedway every Sunday. They're the future of the Speedway. They're the future of racing. Got kids that run Porter midgets, kids that 5-year-olds running go-karts, so on, so on, so on. I don't care. It's racing. And whether it's Indianapolis or Daytona or the Le Mans or whatever, it's still racing. It's just maybe like religion, maybe. I don't know. But it's racing, see? And I'm hooked on it. Bad. Real bad. But anyhow, I want to share these stories with you. And you 69ers, I hope you stick with me. And I appreciate your support, like I said earlier. But anyhow, you know. So let's get off of that, because you got a general idea who Little Loose is. General. And in time, you're going to get to know me real well. And I'll tell you what, when you see me at the Speedway with my Little Loose t-shirt and hat, you are more than welcome to come up and talk to me. I might even interview you. I don't know. That's another thing I got planned. We're going to do interviews. We're going to go to speed shops. We're going to go to race shops. Now, we're not going to go to Tony Stewart's or Roger Penske's. We might someday. But we're going to go to the local racer, the grassroots of this sport. And the thing is, the difference between the local racer and the big time racer is basically money, desire, sacrifice. And some guys would rather have a family than drive a race car. But the guys that want to make the sacrifice and everything else and have the God-given talent to drive a race car, they're in the big time. Yeah, you know, there's a bunch of rich kids out there, a bunch of spoiled brats. Oh, by the way, this lighting's not right. I apologize for that. Sorry, Fred. But anyhow, I will fix it. But anyhow, you know, I'm kind of getting off subject here. So anyway, so I want to give you a general idea of what I mean. And I want to talk about Wilbur Shaw. Now, why would I want to talk about Wilbur Shaw? Well, number one, he was my uncle's favorite driver. I'm telling you, Uncle Phil, that was his driver. Yeah. And Uncle Phil gave me a book. Or he didn't give it, he loaned it to me, okay? Wilbur Shaw. I think, gentlemen, start your engines. Matter of fact, you know when they say, gentlemen, start your engine? Do you know that? Do you know? Wilbur Shaw coined the phrase. That's said at every speedway, every race. Wilbur Shaw coined that. Wilbur Shaw was the last Hoosier to win the Indy 500. You know, and he was a 3-time winner. But he didn't start out there. You know, he's from Shelbyville, Indiana. That's where he was born. His dad, I think, don't quote me on this, I think his dad was a sheriff or a police officer in Shelbyville. Anyway, his mom was a very religious, I guess, person, and she's the one that taught him his manners and how to treat people and how to love God. Well, they got divorced, okay? And she moved, I think her sister, don't quote me on that, I think her sister lived in Indy. And by the way, God had to get Wilbur to Indianapolis, okay? So anyway, that's how he got him there. My opinion. Anyhow, geez. So anyway, he goes to Indianapolis. He's still in school. He had to switch schools. He went to Indianapolis school. He was a hayseed, coming from Shelbyville. Had a kind of a rough time. His mother demanded good grades, and so on. And he got a job, and I can't think of who it was. Anyway, electric cars. Can you believe that? They had electric cars. How about that? They had electric cars. I'll be darned. And anyway, he got a job. I can't think of the name of the company. It's a big one, believe me. Back then, they don't, whatever. So anyhow, his job was to maintain batteries and sell them. And I can't tell you what year it was. He was making $25 a week selling batteries and maintaining batteries. And on the side, he was over there messing around with these batteries because he wanted them to go faster. And he wanted them to get more power. He had a good job. A good job. I bet you most people didn't make $25 a week back then. And he was making $25 a week. So anyway, let me get back to Uncle Phil a second. No, I'll leave him alone. Okay, so anyway, there's a guy down the street had a garage. You know, he had a service garage, and he was a race car driver. And he was an engine mechanic. Well, he developed heads for a Model T, and he was selling modified heads to race drivers. And he had a service station where he maintained cars. And he had his own car, race car. So Wilbur goes down there and he says, hey, you know, I'm kind of interested in this. And the guy goes, well, I can't pay you anything, I gave money. Well, Wilbur said, I don't care. Is there a place I can sleep? Well, yeah, we got a place over here. So Wilbur quit the job to go to work for nothing because he wanted to learn about race cars and engines and so on and so on. And he'd never been to a racetrack. I can't find that. I find that unbelievable. But anyway, he goes to work for him, sweeps floor, does whatever, you know, sleeps in the back. Got him a cot back there. And the guy let him go to his house to take showers or baths or whatever to keep clean. He didn't make him have a wash tub back there that he took a bath in. That's what Smokey Eunuch did. Smokey Eunuch, when he was on the project, Smokey Eunuch, he wouldn't leave the shop. He had a wash tub in there, and he took baths in the wash tub. Yeah, I mean, greatest engine builder of all time. He could get more ponies out of an engine than almost anybody else, and he was also a chassis expert, and he understood aerodynamics. But anyway, that's about Smokey. And so anyway, that guy was crazy. Like I said, I apologize for the lighting. I will fix it. So anyway, let's see, we're back, Wilbur's back there and everything. Wilbur gets he wants to build a race car. So he asked the guy at the garage, he says, hey, can I have a bay or something? I want to build a race car. He goes, nah, I don't have no place. I don't have any room, but there's a room upstairs. Yeah, above the garage, there's a room up there. You can use that. Oh, Wilbur says, okay. So he started building a race car at night upstairs. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't have a clue. I mean, he looked at whatever, I don't know the guy's name. Sorry, I don't. But he looked at his car and, heck, I can build this. And he built the chassis and I don't know where he got the engine. I don't know. Anyhow, he built the car upstairs. So, he got the car built. Got it done. Guess what? He couldn't get it out. He couldn't get the car out the second floor. You know what they did? This is true racer. This is a racer. I'm telling you, this is a racer. This is what racers do. Him and his buddies tore the wall down and they pushed the car out with ropes, and they lowered it into the alley, and I don't know. I don't know if he drove it or I don't know what he did. I don't know how he got. But anyway, his first race was at Lafayette, Indiana. He showed up to Lafayette, Indiana. He didn't know nothing. Didn't have a clue. But he's a race driver, god dang it. He got a race car. And he's there, right? And then the tech guys, they get looking at this race car. They go, oh my God. Jesus, Katie, these welds are, this thing's a death trap. We can't let this kid run. We can't. So they tell Wilbur, they said, Wilbur, you can't run that race car tonight. You got to do this, and you got to do that, and you got to do this, and you got this, and you got that, and it's all got to be done. We ain't gonna let you on the track. I'm a little loose, by the way. Anyway, so Wilbur, I don't know exactly what he said or anything, but he talked him into it. You know, he told him, he said, heck, I came all the way from Lafayette. I'm the one that's going to be in the race car. I'm the one that's going to get hurt or killed. So, let me race. And they agreed. They agreed. Okay, we'll let you race, you dumb kid. If you kill yourself, you kill yourself. You know, of course, that's kind of racing too. Hang on a minute. Hey, look at this. Rowdy. Yeah. I'm telling you, this stuff is fantastic. Hang on. Okay, a little of that goes a long way. Anyhow, hang on. Oh, okay. So anyway, they let him race. So he goes out, and I don't know what position he was in. I don't know what the heck. But anyway, he comes out of the corner, comes down the straight, got the flag, and he held it to the floor, and he didn't lift. He flipped out of the speedway and totaled that race car. Turned it into scrap metal. But he didn't get hurt. He didn't have seat belts. They didn't have any of that crap back then. Which, thank God they do. Thank God they do. You know, we don't lose as many race drivers as we used to. I mean, in the 60s, oh my God. Every time we went to the track, we had to have a moment of silence for somebody. See, my brother and I, we used NASCAR race back then. My driver back then was Paul Goldsmith. By the way, Paul Goldsmith drove for Smokey Yunick. And so did Fireball Roberts. But anyhow, I mean, not when we seen him. He was driving Hemis, Dodge, Nichols Engineering. That's who he drove for. Anyway, now I'm getting off subject. I lost myself. Hang on. So anyway, Wilbur had this bad wreck, you know. He tore it all up. And the flagman came to him and said, Wilbur, I'll tell you what, you're going to kill yourself messing around. And I kind of took a liking to you, I guess. He said, you know, you come down to my shop. You know, he's in Indianapolis. Or I think it was to his garage. I don't know exactly. He says, I got a race car. And it's just sitting there. And you can drive it, but all you got to do is maintain it. And, you know, you're going to have to flip the bills. But I'll give you the car. Or, you know, loan it, whatever. So that's what Wilbur did. Guess what? That flagman was the flagman for the Indy 500 at the time. So anyway, he flagged the other tracks. He's there in Lafayette, I guess. So that's what Wilbur did. And in a short period of time, of course, he was in better equipment, and he was learning how to do it, and how to maintain it, and set the car up, and all that stuff. He became a hot shoe, or whatever you want to call it. And tracks paid him to come to their racetrack before he even got there. I mean, when he got there, he got a check, or he got cash. I don't get a check. He got cash. When he showed up at the pits, here you go, Wilbur, I'm glad you came. In a short period of time, the guy had that much talent. You know? So, anyhow, you're getting a general idea what I'm talking about. This is what I'm going to be talking about, okay? So anyhow, that's Wilbur Shaw, Uncle Phil's driver. And my hat's off to two people who fueled or made it possible for me to have a racing career at a very young age. Well, I mean, I didn't have a career, but you know what I mean. I went racing. And I have to thank my brother. He seen to it that I got to the track somehow. And I thank Uncle Phil because he's the guy that told us where the races were. And that was kind of a strange thing too, you know. So anyway, you know, see, his friend worked at a asphalt company, I guess. He was salesman, I don't know what he was. Anyway, at Griffith, well, that's where Paul's from, Griffith, Indiana. Matter of fact, Paul owns the airport at Griffith, Indiana. He owns it. He's like 90-some years old, and he's still giving flying lessons. Can you believe that? You know, Connie didn't just work at the racetrack. She worked at the bank. And here come these people that give flying lessons out of Griffith Airport. And she seen Paul Goldsmith's name on the dang check. I said, God dang it, Connie, how can I get one of them checks? Well, I couldn't do that. Anyway, so anyway, he had lunch with him, you know. And then Paul, he was my first race driver. The other race driver, my first, was Eddie Sachs. You know, it broke my heart when he got killed in Indy in a terrible crash. We might talk about it. And I know I'm not really getting into the business end of this thing. I know that. But yeah, give me time, okay? I need to fix my light. I gotta go to Menards. I gotta get my lighting straightened out. Man. Okay? So, anyway, you know. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, hang on. There's something going on. Hang on. Yeah, Emma, what's the problem? Really? No kidding. Okay. All right. Hang on. I'll be right there. All right? Yeah. Hey, take the fan that you got keeping everybody cool, put it on the electrical box. Try to cool that breaker down. Okay? And I'll be right down. Okay? Just give me a minute. I'll be there. Don't panic. Oh, if Connie comes by, don't tell her that we have trouble with the, don't tell her. If she comes by, everything's going great. Okay? Because I know she's tickled to death. Okay. We don't want to ruin it. All right. I'll be right there. Okay. I've got an emergency down at the concession stand. Got a problem. And I'm going to have to go. I got to go. I got to go down and hotwire a fryer. I hope I don't burn the concession stand down. But anyhow, that's what we do. We do what we have to do. I need that fryer running. I need that and our fans demand it. And at Centerview Speedway, we give them what they want. Okay. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, do whatever you want. I really appreciate it if you would put a thumbs up, thumbs down. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. And I gotta go. Hey, I'll be back, episode 2, and I won't make this mistake. I'll try not to, okay? Bye. I gotta go.